Boom! We made it through week 9 of our Survivor Pool. I'm Jay all day, and I'm bringing you the absolute best Survivor picks for the 2023 NFL season. We're on to week 10, which is one of the most challenging weeks. If you can get through week 10, you have a serious chance of winning your prize pool and cashing in on winning your Survivor pool. I'm going to give you all the insights to all the games, what games I'm circling, and my ultimate best pick for week 10. Check it out. If you're new to the channel, last week we picked the Cleveland Browns to get the W over Arizona, and they absolutely dominated the entire game. So that turned out to be an easy W for us. But week 10, man, between the teams that are on the bye and the 9 teams that we already picked, if you take a look on the screen, I've used the Chiefs, Browns, Cowboys, Ravens, Seahawks, Eagles, Dolphins, Lions, and Bills. So a lot of the elite NFL teams I've used already, and there's teams on the bye. So we really got to do some hard work, put that study hours in so we can get past week 10. If I get past week 10, it's almost a finish line to the absolute grand prize. I think my prize pool is like 10 grand. So I hope you guys can win some cash too. I'm going to go through all week 10 games, let you know the games that I like, the games that I don't like, and then the games that I can ultimately use or not use. So everyone's teams will be different, but I want to break down all the Survivor pool game possibilities to set you up to win some cash this year in your Survivor pool. Let's get into it. If you haven't yet, guys, make sure you hit that notification bell, like the video, and subscribe to the channel so each week you can get these picks. Even if I get knocked out, I'm still going to break down the games for you guys. But we got 9 wins in a row. Let's make it 10. All right, first game of the week on Thursday, we got the Panthers at the Bears. Oof, I don't like that at all. It's starting to get a little chilly in Chicago. The AccuWeather forecast, 40 degrees. Bryce Young, coming from Carolina, playing in that cold weather. I don't see him being too successful there. But Tyson Bagent has not been good either for the Bears. I don't think Justin Fields is going to play this week. We'll have to see. Keep an eye on the injury report. I mean, if there was a gun to my head, I like the Bears to win this game over the Panthers. The Panthers only have 1 victory, 0 road wins. So that plays into consideration, guys. So this is a game that I don't love, but the Bears should ultimately win this game. Let's go on to the Colts at the Patriots. Man, Bill Belichick, I don't know if he survives. I don't know if he'll survive this season. I think he might walk away. And this goes to show you that being a general manager and being a coach, it's impossible to do those 2 jobs. No one has done it really successfully. I mean, if Bill Belichick didn't have Tom Brady for all those years, it would be really hard to build those rosters, to be able to coach a team and do all the things you have to do on a day-to-day basis, to manage all your coordinators, and then to be a GM, scouring the league for the waiver wires and people on practice squads. There's no way you could do both of those jobs 100%, and we're seeing the fallout of that. Mac Jones is a terrible quarterback, but so is Gardner Minshew. This is a game I don't really want to touch at all whatsoever. I don't know who wins this game. Every week I'm like, oh, the Patriots can't lose another game, and they end up losing, but they are at home, so we'll see what happens. But I'm not touching that game. I would advise you to stay away. Then we have the Texans at the Bengals. The line's pretty high, -7 for the Bengals at home. They've been so good lately. I think they won 4 games in a row. They've been dominating, but Jamar Chase is questionable to play in this game. If he does play, I like the Bengals a lot more. But, man, Texans had a huge come from behind victory last week. CJ Stroud looked great, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is absolute bush league. But CJ Stroud is efficient. He doesn't turn the ball over. And what else could you ask for in a rookie quarterback? I like the Bengals in this game. I don't know if they cover the 7 points, but for Survivor perspective, I like the Bengals here for sure if you have them available. I'm considering the Bengals. I have a few teams I'm circling. The Bengals are one of them. Then we move on to the Saints, traveling to Minnesota. Dobbs had that big victory coming off the bench after the other rookie quarterback got hurt. The Saints have a really good defense, and Minnesota's defense blitzes a lot. So that's not good for Derek Carr. Derek Carr is not very effective against the blitz. And the Vikings are so you don't know what's going on. No Justin Jefferson. Dobbs is not a great quarterback. This game could go either way. It's a toss-up for me, 50-50. I don't love this game at all. I would stay away from this game, guys. The Vikings are 1-3 at home, so they don't have a ton of home field advantage there. The Saints are okay on the road, 3-2. I guess I would probably go with the Saints, but for my Survivor pool, guys, I'm out of that game. Next up, we go Packers at the Steelers. Oof. I like the Steelers at home, but their offense you can't really trust, man. They're not a very efficient offense. Kenny Pickett is not great at all whatsoever. He's mediocre at best. The Packers played pretty good last week. I don't love either of these games, man. The Steelers 3-2 at home this year, so they're not as dominant at home as they once were in years past. I'm passing on that game too. Titans at the Buccaneers, another game I don't want to touch with a 10-foot pole. The Buccaneers have been underachieving all year, and the most inconsistent team on the road this year is the Titans. Do you roll the dice with the Buccaneers? You could absolutely do that because the Titans are horrific on the road. 0-4 this year. If the teams you haven't used are in bad spots, Tampa Bay is definitely a team you could circle as a potential pick this week because the Titans are so bad on the road. But their new quarterback, Levis, looks pretty good. Better than Tannehill in my opinion, so that's a game I don't want to touch. 49ers at the Jaguars. The 49ers the last few weeks have been terrible. Brock Purdy has not been good. They're very, very injured. A lot of their stars are banged up. They're playing with injuries. And the Jaguars have started to gel a little bit. Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence have that offense clicking again. 6-2, 2-2 at home. The weather's not really going to play a part in this game. San Francisco's -3 points on the road. So that means you usually get 3 points if you're a home team. So they're like, Vegas thinks they're like more like -6. Oof, I don't love that game either, guys. I'm not touching that. The 49ers have been way too inconsistent for me to put my survivor pool on the line rolling with San Francisco. They look great in the first half of the year, but those injuries are really starting to accumulate, and they have not been playing very well as of late. And in survivor pools, you kind of want to play the hot hands, man. You don't want to, if you think a team like San Francisco is a good team, wait for them to kind of turn it back around before you use them. I'm staying away from that game. And then we have the Browns at the Ravens. This is a division rivalry game. I'm not touching this game at all. Two of the best defense in the NFL. This game can go either way. I'm not touching that game. Not even thinking about it. Lions at the Chargers. If the Lions were at home, I would like them a lot more. But the Chargers played really good against a good defense in the Jets last night. They are playing on a short week. Another reason I don't want to touch this game. Chargers on a short week. Lions on the road. They are pretty good on the road, 3-1. Jared Goff he's like one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL, but this team is a little inconsistent for me. I'm passing on that game too. Then we have the Giants at the Cowboys. If you have the Cowboys available, pick the Cowboys. That's my pick of the week. The Cowboys at home, coming off a tough loss to the Eagles. They played pretty good in that game. Dak Prescott had like 4 touchdowns, over 350 yards passing. The Cowboys are going to be all right. I mean, they just ran to the Eagles at home. That's a tough place to go and play, as everybody knows. I like for the Cowboys to bounce back. If you have not used the Cowboys, that is my pick of the week. But I used the Cowboys, so I can't pick them. Let's go check out some of the other games. Commanders at the Seahawks. Sam Howell looks pretty good, man. I've been pretty critical of the Commanders as a team, but Sam Howell, they might have something there with Sam Howell. He plays pretty good week in and week out. 14-9. I would like him to get rid of some of those interceptions, but 2,500 yards almost. That's very, 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 very impressive. He's got more passing yards than fucking Josh Allen, which is crazy, man. Terry McLaurin is an amazing wide receiver, and the Seahawks did not look good last week. They got blown out. 5-3. They're 3-1 at home. It's really tough to go to Seattle and play. The weather sucks there. It's supposed to be rainy. Rain games, I'm out. They can go either way. Turnovers happen in those rain games. They're very unpredictable. If it's a rain game, do not pick it. Check the weather. It's very important, guys. Then we have the Jets on the road against the Raiders. The Raiders and the new coach, they played really well for him, but they're still one of the worst defenses in the NFL. I mean, Zach Wilson and the Jets, they're on a short week. They lost again. They had no offense at all whatsoever against the Chargers, who have a middle-of-the-road defense. So I like the Raiders probably to win that game. They are 3-1 at home for a team that is struggling to win games. But, man, 1.5 point spread. The Jets are the favorite. So that just goes to show you how poor of a team the Raiders actually are. If Josh Jacobs can have a big game, but then he's got to rush against a Jets defense that's very, very good. So I don't really love that game. Then we go to the Broncos at the Bills on Monday night. If you haven't used the Bills, The Bills should win this game, but the Broncos did steal a game from the Chiefs, man. So they can beat good teams. Russell Wilson has been efficient, but not effective, if that makes sense. They're losing a lot of games, but if you look at his TD to interception ratio, it's pretty good. But his skill set has definitely diminished. He's not as quick getting away from blitzers. He doesn't have that pinpoint accuracy, and like that. He's never had the best arm ever, but that's really starting to play out as he gets a little bit older. He just can't make the throws like he used to. He can't evade like he used to. So I like the Bills here in that spot if you haven't used them. So what team am I picking for my Week 10 survivor pool? It's really between the Bengals over the Texans, and I do like the Buccaneers over the Titans. I do like the Steelers over the Packers as well, but I can't trust Kenny Pickett in that offense. You want someone who's like rolling right now. So I'm going to go with the Bengals right now. And it looks like Jamar Chase is going to play. They really need him to play. So if Jamar Chase is ruled out like on Saturday, I'll do a late video confirming the team that I'm going to pick for Sunday's Week 10 Survivor Pool. But as of now, I'm going to go with the Bengals. The Texans 2 weeks ago lost to the Carolina Panthers. It's hard for me to believe that C.J. Stroud's going to be that effective against a very good Cincinnati Bengals defense. And I just think that Joe Burrow is going to shred up the Texans, man. On the road, it's really hard to win road games in the NFL. The Texans have only won one road game all year. I don't think they make it two. So I'm going with the Bengals. I'm going to keep an eye on the injury report with Jamar Chase to make sure he's playing. But I'm 99% going to take the Bengals. But if something happens with Jamar Chase and he's out, I might reconsider. I'm going to keep an eye on the injury report. So maybe on Saturday I'll bust out another video for you guys. But I think I'm going to lock it in. Bengals, Week 10 for the Survivor Pool. Let me know in the comments below, who are you picking for your Week 10 Survivor Pool? Do you agree with me that this week is really tough? Don't forget, guys, please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace.